All right, today a video that shows you everything that I'm talking about, everything that I want to show you, and a clear example of the ick and how the game is played and not played at the same time. So let's go ahead and jump in. One of our favorites, one of the greatest, if not the very glue, right? It's that basically keeps the X-Men together, right? This is the guy everybody wants to be, right? This is the dude. Anyways, go ahead and jump in and show you why even the dude, right, can lose the game, right? And get the ick. All right, let's jump in.
I see you real quick. Right, because I need to see.
Is anyone else tired of the forced Wolverine and Jean Grey relationship being jammed down our throats because it's feeling like programming propaganda? With the new Wolverine game coming out next month, I thought I'd talk about the most forced ship in Marvel history. I honestly don't care if I get hate for saying this, but I am sick. I am sick and tired of the mess that is Wolverine and Jean Grey, along with the overplayed, done-to-death love triangle with Scott Summers.
Now, it's no surprise that this video comes from a woman. Now, that's not a knock to her. That's actually credit. That's another thing that I want to point out. Something like this would be indeed viewed and emphasized, right, by a woman. Because this is what's important and how simple this is, right? This simple thing of the love triangle is literally the very thing that destroys this dumbass right here. Now, I could stop the video there, and that's all you need to know. And I'm pretty sure you understand why in the hell there is one loser, right, to this pyramid. And this is a perfect depiction right here. You got two losers, as a matter of fact, Wolverine and Jean. The only winner is this bastard right here. Which by the way, this is why he's one of the most hated characters in the X-Men franchise. He's not the best. Hell, he ain't even that good. He sucks, right? But this right here is what makes this little bastard, right, the guy. And this is the dynamic that I want to show you and talk about today in my video, because this guy's everybody's favorite right here. Everybody wants to be Wolverine. But this right here, right, is what makes him the shittiest hero of them all. And in real world terms, right, this is the real world right here, depicted in this little triangle. So go ahead and break it down, right, show you.
They have been doing this godforsaken love triangle for the last 40 years. This relationship feels like an industry plant nobody wants. Can we put it to bed already? Not to get sidetracked, but I absolutely cannot stand love triangles. Love triangles are stupid. It's a ridiculous romance trope to start some drama because the story or the writer demands it. My biggest gripe with love triangles is that it portrays the most selfish and unhealthy actions as love or romance. But in actuality, it just makes the people in the love triangle look bad and immature. And half the time, the solution is painfully obvious. Communicate! Tell the person how you feel. If you're already in a relationship and you've fallen for someone else, be honest about it and deal with the consequences. Don't spend an entire season or 2.5 movies playing emotional gymnastics while everyone around you suffers. My first introduction.
Now, before she goes on into her first introduction, the reason there's no communication is because what's actually going on, right, in these love triangles is two dudes fighting over one woman. And that, my friends, is the very reason you get the ick. Now, I am going to explain to you a beyond point, okay? Which means extra. The one that really matters, right? In this case, there's one big time loser and there's one winner in these triangles, right? In this case, and it's very simple, very, very simple. I said it at the top of the video with the little depiction of the triangle. You see, the winner is Scott and the loser is Wolverine. Period. And that's something you must understand. One gets the big ick and the other guy gets the credit. Now, it doesn't matter how good each individual guy is. Matter of fact, it is a detriment to the guy that's better. And that is what we're going to focus on today, right? That math, that dynamic is what really matters.
Into love triangles was also my first anime, which was Inuyasha. Girl, the mess that was Kikyo, Kagome, and Inuyasha had me rolling as a kid. Adding Koga to the mix, and Inuyasha was a jealous, heated buffoon that switches up on Kagome being a two-timing dog, running back to his ex that wants to kill him. I'm sorry, what was I talking about? I got heavily sidetracked. Let's go back to the bum that is Wolverine.
Right there. Now you can tell she hates Wolverine, right? The way she talks, the bum that is Wolverine. Why? Because she got the ick. It's the reason this video exists in the first place. She's doing this out of passion, right? And out of a true feeling that comes from, believe it or not, right? Her woman nature, which is the point, right? Now, let's continue.
For the life of me, I never understood why Logan was so down bad for Jean when he gets women in almost every continent. I mean, to be fair, Jean Grey, she is a baddie.
I am life incarnate.
Dude, she is. But the very reason, right, the very thing that she said right there is part of the problem. You see, women don't see the all the other stuff, right? Or what you would consider, oh, this is why. No. They see the simple stuff. It's the simple mathematics, right? It's, wait a minute, Wolverine gets a chick in every continent. Why in the hell is he simping, for lack of a better word, for one woman? The math doesn't add. That's how simple it is, right?
Wolverine has over a dozen plus love interests, and yet he continues to pine after the telepathic Mary redhead that dies every other Tuesday. I've been rewatching the old X-Men series from the 90s, and Wolverine's, let's call it fascination. Yeah, his fascination with Jean is honestly, something else. We're only 5 episodes into season 1. Wolverine has bandages wrapped around his chest after throwing hands with
Oh, this is a perfect explanation, because this is universal. And this is what I want you to understand. Most guys think and believe very few are actually at Wolverine's level. Okay, now understand what this means. This means Wolverine, right, to all of us,
Sabretooth. Mind you, Wolverine
is this guy, right? And I don't mean the fucking Hugh Jackman. I'm talking about this Wolverine. The one that can take every single ass kicking thrown at him and come back and give and dish out an ass kicking of his own. This is why we want to be Wolverine, if we had a chance to pick, right? From the damn X-Men universe, right? But this very thing that gives him his aura, if you will, right? Aura is the very thing that basically gives him the ick, and faster and quicker and harder than Scott would ever get. This is what I want to show you, my viewers and my new subscribers, right? So I'm going to take this time, right? If you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, right? If you find any level of value, regardless of whether you like my style or you don't like the messenger, right? But if you got any level of value out of this, right, then help me help you, right? But anyway, let's continue.
Jean's mutant power is an accelerated healing factor, so any wounds he sustains instantly heals. Enter Jean.
Sabretooth nearly killed you.
Barely.
Someday I'll learn not to let my guard down.
Oh no!
There it is. Jean, just like all of us, knows exactly what Wolverine is and should be, and what he should not be. And what he should not be is what he's turning out to be for Jean. Now, ultimately, and this is a spoiler alert, right? This is why Jean chooses Scott over this piece of crap every single time. This very single little scene right here, right now. This was it. Because you see, Jean here, unbeknownst to Wolverine here, and I'm going to give you a simple explanation, already likes Wolverine. Why? Because he is who he's supposed to be. But at the very moment that she comes into the picture, just like the video is saying, he turns into this. A complete bitch. And dude, and guys, and dudes, and every dude, right, does this single move without even knowing it. And they do it over and over and over again. And I don't understand why they don't see it. Why they don't seem to understand this dynamic, this simple thing, right? But anyways, I'm going to try to explain to you this thing in this video using this very, very entertaining video of her own, right? This video is pretty good.
Jean.
Wolverine, be so for real. You were doing all these karate bum moves, but the moment Jean enters the room, you're doing, ooh, the pain, make it stop. Isn't this the same Wolverine that survived the full force of an atomic bomb? Well, yes. But a swipe from Sabretooth has left you incapacitated. Knowing damn well those injuries healed, he just wanted Jean to nurse him back to health. And speaking of Jean, I'm side-eyeing you too, cause don't you have a man that's waiting for you to go on a date?
Exactly. That's the other ick part. However, it doesn't work the same way. This is another very, very important point. It only works one way. This way. Not this way. This way. And that is the hardest thing for guys to understand. Because I try to explain this, and they always do this. Well, she... No. It doesn't matter what she does. What matters is what you do. And I know that's hard to accept, because you're seeing every little thing she does. But it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is what you do. And for the life of me, I don't see why no dude, no guy, none that I coach or try to help ever get this point. And I've come to the conclusion that I think they don't want to get the point. Right? Which in turn only adds to becoming more of a bitch. And for some reason, they don't seem to understand. They're already at bitch level, and they're accelerating it even worse. Right? So anyways, let's continue.
There is a moment of tension between them. Jean says that Scott is waiting for her, and Wolverine confesses that he's waiting for her too.
Cyclops is waiting for me.
So am I.
So pathetic.
And while
There it is. The ick. Right there and then. Now, let's do the math, okay? Simple math. Because I trust me, I try to help guys with the simple stuff. It's like, well, does she like me? And blah, all these fucking questions were literally answered. The very fact that she went into the room as Wolverine is half butt naked, right? To talk to him and see if he was all right is literally the hint. Yes. Yes. Instead, right? Wolverine comes off as a rookie, right? As a novice, not understanding the game, right? And turned into a complete little bitch, right? The moment she came in and did this whole role play. Something that doesn't fit Wolverine. And that is the biggest point of them all. The very fact that he's Wolverine and he's acting like a bitch literally pulls his Wolverine card. And therefore, you get the ick. That's how simple it is. And there's damn near no way, right, to come back from that. And Wolverine, his whole ass existence in the X-Men, right, is damn near ick after ick after ick with Jean. Now, to give you a spoiler alert, right? That is what makes this little dumbass right here, Scott, the guy. And he didn't do a damn thing. He didn't do a damn thing, right, on his part to be elevated to get the credit. And which is my other point. This is what also is mind-boggling to every other guy. They don't get this. They just think Scott's the guy. He must be doing something right. He's not. You're just fucking up at every second turn and chance that you get. Every time you fuck up and get a damn ick, he gets extra credit. This, my friends, is how it works. That's how it's always worked. That's how it will continue to work. It will never change. It doesn't matter what you think or believe. It doesn't matter what women say or believe. It doesn't. It never will. This is the way. It's the only way. And it makes sense mathematically and universally and naturally. And everything under the sun. I can't emphasize enough how many damn times do I have to say it. Every single time. This is it. Right? Anyways, let's continue.
While these two are out on their date, they get easily clapped and kidnapped, but back to the loser that is Wolverine. The scene I'm going to show you next has done severe damage to Wolverine's reputation. Not only did it become a meme, but also a Funko Pop. Let's analyze this and remember, we are still only 5 episodes into...
Now understand, this whole ass video is a woman ranting, right? And analyzing and giving you the answer. Okay. Understand why this is important. Right? That's why I said, let's analyze this. It became a damn meme and a fucking Funko Pop. It is literally the thing, right, that gives you the ick. The very thing, right? The dreaded screen of death, right? The everything that can go wrong, right? All this shit. The catastrophic moment when you took the L, the big L. Right? This is it. Right? So if you care at all about your relationships, your future relationships, or winning, right, at all, as a guy, right? Forget about women. They understand this. It's another thing, right? They understand this. Guys, for some reason, don't, but the 1%. The 1% do, and that's why they're the 1%. Okay, so anyways, let's continue.
Season 1. He's looking at a photo laying on his bed, full uniform, most likely funky and musty, gazing longingly at a picture. Who is it in this photo that has the tough, rugged Wolverine yearning after them so desperately?
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the...
There it is. what's worse is you got, what did I say? Scott right in the damn picture. Now I know this is indeed a cartoon, right? It is. It's animation, ain't real. But the story, which is what makes this damn cartoon good, right, is universally true. It's the God honest truth, which is even worse. Right? This shit happens over and over again to every dude out there, and don't seem to understand the one thing they really want, cannot get because of the ick. And not only that, but you're literally making this guy, Scott, the guy, thanks to you. And you did that to yourself because you are now the stepping stone. That's what I call it. You're the stepping stone, self-proclaimed and self-laid stepping stone, which gives you an extra ick. And the stupidest part is that you had her all along and you couldn't see this here that I'm trying to show you. Right? It's the very fact that you should have had her mathematically. You deserve her, yes. She goes good with you, yes. Would this picture look better with you on it? Yes. But you took care of all of that. And that's why this bastard's right in this. And ultimately, that's why he's hated and Wolverine's loved, right, by the majority of the fans and all that other shit. But at the end of the day, understand. This is how it works, right? And we could go all sorts of levels of, X-Men and the lore and all that other shit. But for today, it's this dynamic, right? This understanding, 3D level of game that if understood, right, and played right, this would not only wouldn't this wouldn't happen to you, but damn, you can use it to your advantage where you win, right? Not lose and become the damn stepping stone, right? And ultimately making your dumbass guy that you hate into the guy. Unbeknownst to him. Believe it or not, right? Anyway, let's continue.
Scott's girlfriend, a quick reminder, during this time, these two aren't married yet, but will soon. This has got to be the most abysmal thing I have ever seen. But it's okay. Logan is just a 200 plus teenager that's yearning after another man's girl. But seriously, Wolverine has their photo and has it sitting on the side of his bed, most definitely looking at it every night when he goes to sleep and staring longingly when he wakes up. Wolverine, this is embarrassing. Here you are caressing it as if Jean will pop out the picture. So not only does Wolverine has this photo of Jean, but also Scott. All jokes aside, where did he get this photo from? I will bet $100, because I'm a brokey, that Wolverine stole this photo from either Jean or Scott's room. Also, at the end of the episode when the X-Men save Jean and Scott, you see him staring at them in this...
And there it is again. Funny ass video. I give it all the credit. But you can see right there, he falls victim once again. And this is supposed to be the great hero. The guy. Anyways, making this guy, this dumbass right here, just becomes the man. And I'll believe it or not, and understand this aspect too. You may think she is unaware that he is looking. This cannot be further from the truth. She knows. Hell, this is the very reason she's hugging up on Scott. And this is something you will never be explained or anybody will ever show you. No real coach, right, would ever show you this, because the ones that are out there in the internet don't understand even this level of game. So you'll hear this here first. This is the extra beyond 3D game that I speak of. You see, women understand and do shit sometimes, right? Actually, all the time. They do shit like this because they know you're looking. And you may think, or this guy thinks, oh, I'm the shit. Unbeknownst to him, that this action is thanks to this dumbass right here. There it is. And he has now become the stepping stone. And he, with no credit at all or effort, becomes the guy. Just out of default. And this dynamic I see all the damn time, everywhere. Everywhere. Every dude that's ever come to me about some problem, women problem, is in this very scenario. And all, and don't seem to understand this very thing. And yes, I understand it's mind-boggling. It doesn't make no sense logically. But why in the hell would she be hugging up to this guy if she really wants him? Well, because of this. Because you are judged harshly, right? And you should be the Wolverine. Instead, you're over here whining and crying. And therefore, you are not the Wolverine, even though he is. Right? So you deserve this punishment mathematically. Maybe not logically. It ain't fair. Yeah, I get it. But it's a perfect system. There's a reason this shit happens. And that's my point. All right. Let's finish it up.
Appointment for being together. Now, I understand being disappointed when someone you care about and love doesn't feel the same way about you, but it's like, bro, that's not your relationship or business, so why try to intervene or hope they break up so you can slide on in?
There it is. Wolverine should be having better things to do instead of like hoping it breaks so you can slide in. That's exactly my point. Now, this woman doing this video understands that 100%. Hence the video. Right? There it is. Just like that.
He was so frustrated that Jean was in a committed relationship with Scott. He left the team. He packed up whatever he had, which wasn't much,
and quit like a complete bitch. And there you go. Everybody that saw the X-Men, right? 997, not that shit remake. I'm talking about the original, right? Cartoon has this embedded in their psyche, in the subconscious. So moving forward, all movies, all media, all lore, at the end of the day, this is hidden and buried inside all of our psyche. And that's ultimately what ruins, right, Wolverine. Now, yes, it's a success, right? When Wolverine comes out and he's the money drawer, yes, he is. But because we have the hope that one day, right, Wolverine will indeed get Jean. Right? It's like the coyote and the Roadrunner. We watch it because we one day wish the damn coyote gets the Roadrunner. Now, ironically, right, Family Guy showed us what happens if he does get the Roadrunner, which is the point, right? But ultimately, so that's a whole nother point, right? But anyway, let's finish it off.
I tell it back to Canada. Scott immediately calls out Wolverine's BS behavior.
You know that temper of his. If he doesn't get his way, he's gone.
Was he lying, though? Jean realizes that Wolverine has left because of her, and the camera pans over to the picture of her and Scott.
There it is. Basically, Jean sees this. So she knows, and she doesn't have to see this. She knows. That's another thing I try to explain to guys all the time. They know. They know your motive. They know your bullshit. They know your lies. You don't seem to know them. That's what's crazy. Right? I coach a lot of guys. And a lot of guys have the same problem. This right here. Right? They don't notice. They don't care. They don't want to hear. They don't want to see their own dumbass mistake. Because they refuse. They believe. They really do. I've asked all the questions under the sun. I've pointed to every single example that I can. And I've asked over and over again. And now I believe they really do live in an existence where it cannot be their fault. They truly believe it. They're not hiding it. They believe they're the victim. They really do. And this is where the Matrix comes into play. They've been trained. Right. Whatever, mind raped, whatever it is. They truly believe that they are the victim. That they should be the ones, right? Not Scott here, right? Just like Wolverine, right? Instead, Wolverine literally being the best damn X-Men, right? The best in the game, quit the game because he's a little bitch. This is what this is, right? And this is what dudes do all the damn time. And they refuse to believe and understand that they are indeed the bitch in everything that they do. Every single thing that they do and say only confirms, right, in this case, Jean's suspicion that Wolverine's a bitch. And therefore, that's the reason this dumbass is in this picture, not Wolverine. There it is. And she was right. Right? In a weird, ironic twist, I can't see Scott quitting. Just like Wolverine just did. Amazing. Which is why also he's the leader of the X-Men and not Wolverine. In the real world, right? And just like in Fantasyland, Wolverine cannot be the leader because he doesn't have what it takes. Hence, Deadpool and Wolverine. And the only thing that made that movie good, right, was because they needed a giant ass stepping stone. What was that? Disney itself. Amazing, isn't it? Every little fuck up that Disney has ever made, and that's a lot, if not all the shit that they buy and then ultimately do with is a fuck up. And that's what made Wolverine and Deadpool, the movie, a success. They had their stepping stone, right? Disney. And now Scott here has his stepping stone, Wolverine. And he gets the girl. He gets the credit. Unbeknownst to him. Thanks to every single stupid shit Wolverine ever did. So there you go, right? Just like that explained. You got your answer. Right? There it is. There it is. So, again, if you like this video, give me a like, share, subscribe, right? This stuff ain't that hard. It really ain't once you understand the dynamics. As you can see, right? It extends both to the real world, the fake world, the make-believe, the lore, right? The movies, cartoons. Here it is. This is the only way. This is the way. This is what you must learn. In relationship world, this little dynamic, this little thing, what it's all about. So we're going to go ahead and let this girl finish this little extras thing. I'm pretty sure she's going to explain all the shit that I said in a woman's point of view.
Damn minute.
Hey, if you're a parent...
Of course. Why not? Right? Another damn interruption.
I'm weird. I'm a weirdo.
Oh no, he left behind his photo. How's he gonna sleep at night without looking at Jean's face? This is such a high school reaction. You're telling me Wolverine turned tail and ran away because Jean chose Scott? Does he not realize how childish this makes him look?
There it is. What did I just say? And this is ultimately what actually matters, right? Because believe it or not, this ruins Wolverine, not just for Jean, but every other girl on the face of the planet. And therefore making this guy, right, what you've seen in pretty much every other depiction where Wolverine has been in. A fuck up. That's what he is. Every single relationship is a failure. Every single one. Have you ever seen this guy happy? That's why we got that shitty movie that everybody seems to praise, Logan, where he dies at the end. No woman, no nothing. Right? There you go. You could have predicted this. It couldn't have gone any other way because it doesn't make sense from a writer standpoint. Because the lore behind Wolverine has made him the bitch that he is, and ultimately the only thing you could have used, right, in Logan from the writer's standpoint, again, because it can be done, but it'd take a bunch of damn work, which no one wants to do. Right? No one wants to do the work. So that's why you got Logan. Yep, the one where he dies, the one where, Deadpool goes and finds his dumbass skeleton and all that other shit. That's the product of that. And yes, he was replaced by his daughter, right? Weapon X or whatever the hell. I'm not that, right, familiar because I didn't care less about, right, the consequence of that. But anyways, there it is. You see how simple this is? This is living proof of everything that I say, right? And try to show you in my videos. For the life of me, though, okay? No one seems to care. Or actually, I realize they do care. It just doesn't. I am shit at getting my videos across, right? It distributed, right? To those that need it, right? Can't figure out this stupid algorithm. And I hate clickbaits, right? But I must resort to doing this here and there to get a few clicks that ultimately I found out don't really matter because it's the people that don't care about what I'm talking about anyways. So you ain't going to get them jumping on the bandwagon anytime soon, right? So there you go. But anyways, that's extra shit. Let's finish this
Logan,
up.
you are way too old acting like a teenager. A brooding 200 plus teenager crying over someone who is 2 decades old. Fast forward, and Scott finally asks Jean to marry him, and of course she says yes. Listen, it's always gonna be Scott Summers no matter what. Even when Jean gets involved with Logan, she always returns to Scott. And Wolverine, he's back on some BS in the first episode of season 2. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what is going on?
There you go. She knew the math. Right? This is how predictable this shit is. And I know you don't believe it. If you made it this far, this is it. This is everything I ever speak of. Right there. And she's about to explain it in the most simplest form that a woman can.
Well,
Do you, Scott Summers, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
it's Scott and Jean's wedding day. These two lovebirds are doing their vows and saying I do. Meanwhile,
You can't have her!
I have no words. This man, Wolverine, James Logan, is in the danger room fighting to the death with a holographic robotic whatever version of Scott Summers. Scott is getting married. Jean is getting married. Everyone else is celebrating. Wolverine is so pressed that Scott is marrying Jean Grey that the bum had to go into the danger room to relieve his pent-up envy and rage out on a fake version of Scott.
There you go. Ultimately ruining fucking Wolverine for all of us. For good. There you go. The only reason any Wolverine is successful and all that other shit because people forgot about this. Forgot literally about this. Hell, this is the very thing that ruined Thanos, believe it or not, and ultimately the whole ass franchise and all that other shit. It's the same thing. The same damn thing. This is what I mean about connecting the dots. Anyways, continue.
I'm beginning to feel much better now.
Baby, you got to go to hell, okay? Like, the faster you do it, the better off everybody involved is going to be.
What did I just say? The better you go away and end this stupid franchise, right? The better it's going to be. Because, believe it or not, all Wolverine fans, right, get a kick in the balls every single time that Wolverine has to go through this over and over again. And the reason we flocked to any new Wolverine shit is to see the opposite. It's the same reason we flock to Spider-Man. Right? One day his balls will drop. One day. That just never happens. But there you go.
This is no longer embarrassing. I need another word for embarrassing. This is a self-inflicted humiliation ritual. This is mortifying. Wolverine, you
It's catastrophic.
5'3", musty, anger-filled man-child, you're having a tantrum about a woman that was never yours to begin with. And you know what's even more
It gets worse. Every single thing that she says get worse.
bizarre? He has woman after woman after woman that wants him. Wolverine's options were never limited. He just limited himself to one woman who'll always choose Scott Summers.
And there you go, right? So, for the sake of not making this video too damn long, we'll end there. There it is. There you go. Now, we could talk about the other elephant in the room, right? I understand why Wolverine wants Jean, right? And this is going to suck for all of you, right? All of us, actually. But this is the way it works. We all want what we can't have. But fear not, I do have the answer, right? The reason you don't get what you want and ultimately want what you can't get is because you can't get it, right? And you don't get it because you're trying too damn hard. This is the paradox. The fact that you want it so bad is the reason you don't have it. And the reason you want it is because you can't have it. Paradox. So there you go. So what's the answer, right? Well, it is first, understanding what I just said. And second, right, mastering the game. So there you go. I will see you on the next episode.